Man cold guy over here. I know. Roscoe from Kindersley just sent a text in on the Prairie Line Rentals text line. Barney, you should go try some garlic. I don't have the Kavorka. I'm just sick. I don't want. I'm walking around smelling like garlic. And so that was my youth. My parents made head cheese in the house, and all my jackets, and I'd go to school. Everything stunk. I was like, "Oh, there's the weird kid. It smells like garlic."
Some things don't change. I was listening to your Tiger thing. It's funny. I was having the exact same conversation with somebody today. If you were to set an over-under for number of holes played by Eldrick Woods at Augusta National this year, I would put the number at 27.5. He gets through the first round, and at the turn of the second, pulls the shoot.
I'd take the over.
Well, you would.
Yeah. I think somehow, some way, he'll try and gut it out.
Yeah.
Hammer the body full of painkillers, drugs. Do you just get through it? Have you ever been there?
I have, twice. It is so hilly.
Yeah, like it looks like an absolute grind.
Yeah, it's so pristine, but man, don't get it twisted. That thing is up and down and all around. It is, which makes it impressive that a guy like Mickelson, back in his hefty days, was able to, there's that man cold, was able to win that thing. I just wonder about Tiger, Barney. Like, what does that body just have left? Like, it's back and it's Achilles, and he swung it so violently for so long. I get you want to play, I do, but at what cost?
Well, I don't. What is he? 50?
Yeah, that sounds about 50, right.
You know, and we look at like 50, we've talked about this a lot too, 50 in 2026 isn't 50 in 1988. Like, you look at some of the actors that this pops up on my algorithm once I'm getting hit with like, what's her name from the Golden Girls was actually only 48. And it's like, what? She looks 75. It's just, they're different. And he is in such good shape. But taxing, and it seems like any little thing could set it off.
So I've probably said this, I've said this on the show a couple of times over the years, but I remember Mark Schlereth, the former NFL offensive lineman. In his career, he had 13 knee surgeries and 1 back surgery. And Schlereth's point was, I'd rather have 26 knee surgeries than go through a back surgery. And then you think about Steve Kerr, the Golden State Warriors coach, he almost died in the after effects of back surgery. I think Tiger's had 3 or 4 back surgeries alone. It's like that body has just been battered over the years. And
So when you talk about being there and pre-Ozempic Phil, but you look at some of those guys that used to hoof around it, Craig Stadler,
there you go.
those bodies up and down and around, ripping darts on it as well. But like, you look at a guy like Fred Couples, and it seems like it was a couple of years ago. It was more than that. It was a few where he was in the hunt. It's like, how is Freddie doing it? Because once you've won it, you can go back forever and just roll. So that's the thing too. And I brought this up in hour 1 is when we used to watch the Masters, I feel in that 90s or the early 2000s, I feel that now there's just so many cameras, and the cameras are so good, and the high def is so good, you really get an idea of the terrain. Where back in the day, right? Like there was the odd hole to be like, oh, that looks like it's a little bit downhill, that shot. Now they show the guy teeing off and going back, and it's like, well, that guy looks like he's up there at Crazy Horse.
Yeah. There's no question, and the thing about Couples is he always starts on fire.
Yeah.
And then towards the tail end of the second round is when he just really starts to kind of fall off the cliff and drag. And then sometimes he doesn't even make the cut after being in the top 10 the first round.
For a roughly 4.5 mile hoof.
Oof.
To get around. Do you want to hear here, I'll look this up here. And this one. And I've walked it. It's extremely hard. I want to say it's 7 kilometers.
Oh, wow.
Bethpage Black, 6 mile walk. Did it in back-to-back days. My buddy who doesn't walk golf courses, we show up and he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, remember I told you, like, there's no carts, man. Like, not even like
really?
medical exemption.
You can't even
carts.
if you wanted to.
Not on the black course. No. Like over in Scotland, They'll give you medical exemption. You know, guys play the game over there. And I was like, no, we got to walk. And he's a bigger guy. And so we walk the first day with caddies. And his shoes are just, he's like, whoa. So after the round, I expect him to just bail the next day. We go back, this hotel in Long Island. It was awesome. Have a hot tub and some cocktails, and I'm like, well, I'm back out there tomorrow, 7 mile walk. And he's like, yep, but I need new shoes. And I'm like, what? You're coming? He's like, oh yeah. So he goes and buys brand new shoes in the pro shop and then hoofs it for another 7 miles with me the next day. And he never walks a golf course. And I was like, man, you should be up for Citizen of the Year or something for pulling that off. But okay, golf aside, baseball. It's, you know me. Edge of my seat.
Mr. Baseball.
Especially the first 40 games, I am just riveted. Blue Jays home opener coming up from Game 7 of the World Series. We are starting all over again. Expectations for this team.
I think, Barney, like I really believe this. They're higher than they've ever been. And part of it is because they got to Game 7, but the other is because they kind of got everybody awake again. You know, there are people in Regina glued to the Blue Jays for much of the month of October, but especially the last week, every day of October. So now everybody expects this to like take off again. So I just can't remember a time where expectations have been higher for this team.
I know I talk and hearing people talk. Focus on Vladdy, a lot of people. Face of the franchise?
Oh yeah, no question. You know, Bo's gone. It's Vlad's team now. You know, of that there's no doubt.
What expectations for him this year?
Well, I think there are a lot of people who believe he should be in the AL MVP running. You know, like this is the person who's going to have to carry this team. And you think about what he's been for this franchise over the years and everything he's done and all those kinds of things. This is going to be Vladimir Guerrero time again. And can he do it? And he's never shied away from it. He's always stepped up in this moment. Can he now do it? That becomes the question. And he's got all the tools. He's got the swag. He's got the personality. He's got the bat. He's got the defense. He's a Gold Glover. He checks off so many of those boxes for them.
I didn't know a lot about George Springer before last year's playoffs. And then I was like, oh, yeah, Houston. Yeah, that all makes sense.
Right. World Series champ, World Series MVP there.
Yeah, banging the things, and I love that story, to be honest. But hits the home run, gets the Jays to the World Series. What are the expectations for George Springer this year?
Well, the question is, can they keep him healthy? Like, he was basically in bubble wrap for September and October, and here he is, almost 10 years after winning World Series MVP. Can Springer stay healthy? For much of the year, he was dealing with something. He had a knee issue through the entire postseason. How many effective games can George Springer give them? That becomes the question. If Springer can be an effective piece for them, Barney, that is going to be absolutely massive, and he can be the anchor of that entire outfield for them. He can be the one who's going to step up and make massive hits like he did in Game 7 of the ALCS last year. But he's got to stay healthy. And the question becomes, can he stay healthy?
How old is he?
I believe Springer turns 37 this year, I believe.
He's getting up there. But
yeah. Aren't we all?
And Tiger. Yeah. Any warning signs as we get set to kick it off?
Well, we talked about some pitching injuries last week, and then over the weekend, the Trey Savage thing broke. And remember what like a unicorn revelation he turned out to be in the playoffs? The young kid went through whatever it was, 4 or 5 levels of the majors on his way to pitching. And now they're calling it a shoulder impingement, whatever that is, that he hasn't been able to ramp up his pitching at all. They say it's behind him now, but will this be kind of an ongoing thing that they have to monitor? That's a big one, because you're already, Jose Barrios is out. Now Savage is out. They have another member of their starting rotation, Shane Bieber, with a lot of question marks because he hasn't played a full season in a long time. So suddenly they went from that position being one of depth to that no longer, they're one injury away from starting pitching to being like, whoa, what do we do now? Which is wild to think about.
I know it's probably not going to happen, but part of me is when Blue Jays home opener, which is on Friday, if the wall and the left field is still the same, or have they done, because the odds of that happening again are like winning the lottery, but just in case, have they done anything there?
Is that going up in the Dodgers Wall of Fame? Like, if they take that, if they remove that wall, yes. Are they going to take a chunk of that and put it in Dodger Stadium next to some statues and next to some plaques? That I wonder about too.
They should even make a mock of it somehow and put it up somewhere. Just a ball stuck underneath. Yeah. It's still, when I think about that run and how it just kind of captivated all of us and everything, and then I'm like, and the ball got stuck there?
It was so surreal. What? And then the next night, Game 7, lead 3-0, and then 3-1, and then Jeff Hoffman gives it up to Miggy Rojas. Like, it's, a lot of the guys, there's a lot of reports coming out of spring, like, features about it all, and they're just like, we're just not over it. That is another thing. Like, at some point as a team, you got to turn the page. And the question is, how will the Jays as a team turn the page?
Is that so hard in baseball because it is just such a long season? Do you think it's maybe harder than any other sport? I don't know. It's hard. Like Connor McDavid, after getting so close twice, looks like he's aged. Like, he looks like he could be 50 years old soon. Is it because baseball is just so long?
Yeah, that could be part of it. The off season becomes so much shorter as a result of it. But ultimately, like, this would have been if McDavid blew a 3-0 Game 7 lead. This would have been if McDavid McDavid and the Oilers led by 3 goals, and you're up 3-2, you're coming home, you got a 2 or 3 goal lead in Game 6, and then you got a 3 goal lead in Game 7, and you don't finish. And like, this momentum had just built and built and built, and in your heart of hearts, you really felt you were the better team. That's hard, man. That's hard. And then it just ends abruptly. Like you're going 100 miles an hour every single day through the postseason, and then bam, you hit that concrete wall. It's wild how it works.
Not to detract from the championship talk here, but while we were talking Dodgers, did you guys hear about the naming rights for Dodger Stadium?
I saw there were some naming rights, but they want to keep it Dodger Stadium. What's the deal there, Cole?
So it's going to be Uniqlo Field.
Excuse me?
Dodger Stadium. Uniqlo.
What's that? An AI company or something? Let me guess.
No, it's a clothing brand.
Apparel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a clothing brand. But still, like you, I've never heard of this. And I have two feelings on this. Of one, a brand that I've never heard of getting the naming rights for a stadium I don't love. That's just me because I don't recognize it, right? It's like Staples Center. That that one, right? And I know it's not that anymore. And then two, I really do like stadiums that are Dodger Stadium, right? Like it's not attached to anything. Now, I say that as we have Mosaic Stadium. Of course, it was Taylor Field at Mosaic Stadium.
And Colson's never worked on commission.
Yeah,
he's never also sold anything.
And I understand the Dodgers have a lot to pay out over the next few years, so I understand this side of it too. But I'm like, I don't know.
The Bugle Boy Center, the Mondetta Place. There's some clothing brands I can get behind.
Well,
there you go.
The funniest one was Buffalo, because for the longest time it was Ralph Wilson Stadium. Because you look at the organizational flow chart, the owner is Ralph Wilson, right? And then the moment that franchise sold, it had itself a corporate naming right on it.
Oh, is that what happened? Because I've often thought about that, and it was when it was sold that they just cashed out. They sold out. It's being a sellout. That's what life's all about. Just got to pick when. Go to the most lucrative time to be a sellout.
Pick when and how much.
Okay, some CFL. You said you had a chance to watch my chat, me and the professor and I, with Trevor Harris the other day. Great interview if anyone wants to go back and listen to it. What were your takeaways from that?
First of all, just how engaged and dialed in he was to the conversation. I appreciated that. Well, I know. Don did a great job.
Don't make me laugh. It hurts.
Number two, we just talked about the heartbreak of the Jays, and John Schneider's replayed that 1,000 times in his head. He said, Trevor went back and watched the game once. I thought that was so interesting. So often people want to revel in it. And I guess this is the difference, Barney, between the elite, between the champions, between the greats and everybody else. For Trevor was, okay, watch the game. Now let's go watch some film on our West Division opponents in December and January. I just thought that just provided great insight into what makes this dude click.
And he looked fit.
Did he ever?
Very fit. CFL Combine is here. It's this week in Edmonton. We do have interview coming up with Regina's Carson Sombach a little later. You've been to this thing. What are the major things for you, the CFL Combine?
Well, I call them the underwear Olympics because, you have to come in, you got to lift and you got to jump and you got to run and you got to do all these drills, which I'm like, okay, cool. But running in a straight line, jumping up and down, lifting under the bar, why aren't we doing more football activities? And this isn't just the CFL, the NFL is the same.
Yep.
The other thing is they do these so the CFL Combine, there's no Americans coming to the CFL Combine. It's Canadians, it's globals. And they put these kids through the ringer of all these different questions and want to get gotcha answers out of them and catch them off guard and really grill them. And they're doing these to the Canadian kids, thinking they're going to find out a whole lot about them, even though they really aren't. And yet the Americans just get a pass. They just, okay, well, it looks like you can play based on what we see on tape and what one scout put on paper to put you on our neg list. And the Americans don't go through it. Like, it's always been puzzling to me.
Why? Is it an expense thing maybe, or are they paying for their own way anyway?
Yeah, it's a good question. Why? Like, there's never even really a conversation that has some of those questions being asked. So it's a very good question. Next time you have O'Day on, that might be a great question for him.
All right. Can I leave you with on this day in music history? I know you like these.
I know I do. You always get me.
On this day, 1992, a Chicago court settled the Milli Vanilli class action suit by approving cash rebates of up to $3 to anyone proving they bought the group's music before November 27th, 1990, the date the lip-syncing scandal broke.
Blame it on the rain, man.
$3.
Blame it on the stars.
They shine at night.
They shine at night, yeah.
Whatever you do.
Don't put the blame on you. What?
Hey, but there's...
Boss, we were going to sell naming rights, but Colson told me we couldn't.
We can't play the music, but that doesn't mean we can't recite it.
That's right.
There's right. What's the one that's the guy that's still alive for Milli Vanilli? I sent actually Colson. We can't play it because make it flagged. The hold on, let me look. Anyways, Fab.
Baby,
no,
don't
Rob.
Forget my number. Don't forget that one.
Yeah. Girl, I'm gonna miss you. That song is scarred after that Menendez Brothers thing that I watched. Girl, you know it's true. Yeah. So, but I think it's Rob who's still alive, because wasn't it Fab who passed away? But Rob's out there singing and playing, like he's doing concerts, and he's like, "Damn it, I'm going to prove that I can sing," and he's actually not that bad, and he's doing what he does. And there's a video, I saw it, and he's up, and I think he was doing "Blame It on the Rain." Yeah. It was a great album. I don't care who was singing it. It was a great album. Yeah, really bassy.
Cassette. Are you gonna sit and tell Colson about the cassette tapes next? Because that's how I had.
I know
Blame
what
It on the Rain.
I listened.
Yeah, but did you ever record the top 6 at 6 on a cassette tape and have to hit it right when the DJ was done talking?
No, I didn't do that.
That was a skill. And then some of your rich friends would have the 2 tape player ghetto blasters, and then you'd go over there and be like, "Oh, I can't believe my mom, we went to Kresge's and I got all these blank tapes, and then I'm gonna record all my buddies' music." And then whatever, I was poor, but I said I had music.
And music.
Batteries, man, imagine how much money we spent on batteries back in the day.
Just ate them alive.
Disc, man, nothing worse than being on a long bus trip for a sport and you're out of batteries and no one else wants to lend you any.
And then it would just slow down.
Yeah. The struggle was real. Man.
Kids these days have no idea.
We lived through it. I'd go back there in a heartbeat if I could, though. The way everything else is going down.
Sure.
Take me back to the batteries. I'll gladly spend hundreds of dollars a year on batteries.
No question.
And Buffalo jeans. Chip and pepper. All right, bud. Let's regroup on Thursday. Went off the rails a bit. Good. That's what it's all about.
You got it.
See you later.
Right. See you, bye. Cool.